Hey, good Friday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregross here. Welcome to the MLive Morning Weather Update. And kind of a complex situation for this weekend. I'm going to try to keep it simple for you. And I have some of the newest data coming in. I just looked at about 15 minutes, half hour ago. And one of the models that I do favor as we go into the weekend is starting to show the snowstorm for the southeast half of lower Michigan on Sunday. So here's the general scenario. We have what I'm calling a two-part storm system. First part brings a light snow tonight and Saturday across lower Michigan. Southern half of lower Michigan, not much. 1 to 2 inches by late Saturday. Northern half of lower Michigan and much of the UP, 2 or 3 inches of snow by late Saturday, tonight into late Saturday. Not a big snow. Then the storm system is going to consolidate to our south, rapidly strengthen, and we're going to be on the northwest side of the storm. That's the cold side. That's where the heavy snow band lies, depending on where the center of the storm is. So my whole job this weekend, track that big red L. That's the center of the storm, the center of the washing machine, so to speak. If it starts to creep back to the northwest, that heavy snow band that yesterday looked like it could be around Cleveland, Ohio, will shift back into the southeast part of lower Michigan, and that appears to be happening, so to speak. So let's get on into it and show you what I'm talking about. And one thing that we do know now with the storm system on Sunday is the winds will increase. So whether you get into the heavy snow band or not, you're going to have a lot of drifting. Now today is a good travel day. This is the middle of the day. This is the early afternoon. It's dry, no problems. This is this evening, light snow developing. This is overnight tonight, and this is tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. So northern half of lower, sometime late at night, it becomes more of a steady light snow. Let's see, we got some questions here. Brian Peterson, Patterson. Thank you, I appreciate that very much. Ryan Litch. Mark Snowagrosa, finally on the scene, yes, for sure. Hey, good morning, Rena Coble. Thanks for saying hello. And Tim Nosek and Elizabeth Jared, good morning. So tonight, tomorrow, not a big deal, especially southern half, especially Bay City to Pentwater, southward. You're going to be like, oh, what's snowstorm? It's not a snowstorm there. Northern lower, little coating. Now, this is the European model, and this isn't the newest. We will get the newest in a little while, but this is Saturday night, but it gives you the idea of the increasing moisture with the strengthening storm just to our south and east. This is Sunday morning, okay? And it's a little bit farther to the southeast than the newest short-term models, but it's also inching back to the north and west. So this is Sunday during the morning, and this one would still say the heaviest snow band stays at Toledo, south and east. It would say that the southeast half gets a light to moderate snow, wind-driven, and the northwest half gets a light snow on Sunday, and then it moves off, and Arctic cold comes in and some lake effect. This is what the European model would say remember, on the old run. So this is about 6 hours old. So it would say on Saturday, 2 or 3 in the north, 1 or 2 in the south half. No big deal. Then note on Sunday, it starts to pile up the snow. In the far southeast, it brings Detroit up to 5 and Port Huron up to 6 and Ann Arbor 4, wind-driven. Okay, now remember that look. Remember, this is 6 hours old, and little adjustments in the track mean a fairly significant adjustment in the snow. This is what I like to use when there's a lot of variance, and this is called the ensemble. So I just showed you what's thought to be the best run of the European. Now I'm showing you an average of 50 runs, and you can see it's a little bit heavier. meaning that the other runs average into a little more snow. That's why I'm calling this a 4 to 8 inch snow across all of Michigan through the end of it, through Sunday. I'm not trying to get fancy. This amount here, this amount there. It's a 4 to 8 inch snow, and most of that would be in the east, in the thumb, and in the southeast, and this will be tweaked and changed some. Now, remember I told you, and I digress a little bit. Models, which ones? What app what model does your app use? They all say a lot of different things right now. So you need human meteorologists that know when to transition from using one to the other. So we like the European always for the big picture, but then as the storm gets closer, we like what's called the NAM, the North American model. The GFS, which is the U.S. National Weather Service main model, is junk. It's so variable. Sometimes it nails them and everybody says, see the GFS, and most of the time it doesn't. So we're going to look at the NAM now, but it's on the edge of when it can be accurate, but it has the idea of the storm tracking back to the north and west. So that's what you see in this situation, and it's just a big watch out for Ann Arbor and Detroit, Oakland County, maybe Jackson, Flint, Saginaw, and the Thumb, and not so much for the Grand Rapids area. So here's the snow overnight tonight, and what it's trying to do, notice it has a little bit of sleet and freezing rain at times tomorrow in the southern third of the state. What does that signify? It signifies the push of the cold from the north is not that strong yet and would allow the storm center on Sunday to come back farther north. If the Arctic air was barreling in, this storm would be pushed quickly off to our east. So now let's get into the interesting part. Let's go to Saturday evening and let's go to Saturday overnight. Middle of the night, 2 a.m. Sunday, look, the heavy snow band starting to form on the consolidating, strengthening, maturing winter storm. And then this is Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, and that is heavy snow for Lansing, Saginaw, Kalamazoo, especially Ann Arbor, Saline, Detroit, and the Thumb, and Oakland County. If this model verifies, it goes out 60 hours and we're at 50 hours out. Just think, farther out in the future, how do you predict your schedule of where you're going to be? It gets harder. And then we go into Sunday afternoon and still snow showers around, but starting to push off, wind picking up. So what does this new run of the NAM say? It says through tomorrow afternoon, 2 or 3 inches in the north, and not much at all in south. This is almost nothing in Ann Arbor and Detroit through tomorrow afternoon. And then look what it does Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon. It goes to, you'd say like a 6 to 10 inch snow with Thumb, northeast side of Detroit, maybe Oakland County, Lapeer County getting heavier amounts. And we won't look at this as exact, but we'll look at it as the idea. And what kind of snow band does a storm like that make? A storm like that makes a 6 to 10 inch snow, and then if there's some lake enhancement in the Thumb, it adds on a couple of inches. But with the wind, it means a lot of drifting too. So in other words, Sunday is likely going to be a much more hazardous travel day than what you might anticipate, unless you're joining me here right now. Shelley, how much is the UP looking at? By UP standards, not much, 2 to 4 inches. General, maybe a little bit heavier in spots. Okay, so there it is. That's what I'm going to be watching, is all of the different models come in. I'm going to be watching how they trend. And you are going to get multiple tweaks from me this afternoon through the weekend. I'm working all weekend. And the thing is, we're just going to be trying to fine tune. The thing you just need to know is you're going to have a lot of off and on snow and eventually a lot of wind. Here's the wind forecast, the wind gust forecast. And it's not terrible on gusts today or tomorrow, so it's not a real big drifting type snow. But remember, as that storm center consolidates, becomes a mature storm, it becomes a wind maker. So this is Sunday morning. Northeast winds gusting to 25, 30 miles an hour. This is Sunday afternoon when the wind peaks. North winds gusting to 30 to 35 miles an hour. If you've had 3 to 6 inches of fluffy snow, 35 mile an hour winds, that could be, I'll mention the B word, it could be blizzard conditions. We'll have to watch for that. It'd be very close. It depends on how driftable, if that's a word, the snow is. And we go into Monday. The winds still stay strong on Monday. Look at that. As the Arctic air pours in, we'll have 30, 35 mile an hour gusts on Monday. So Monday is not going to be a picnic. In fact, next week is going to be wintry. We got about a week of it. I will show you a little bit of a break coming, and it's probably the first break toward spring. Joe and our whiteout conditions. Yes, on Sunday. If it's not officially a blizzard, then you will get whiteout conditions. So today, cold. Tomorrow, maybe inching above the freezing mark from I-94 southward, otherwise 20s. Sunday, temperatures in the 20s and teens. Monday, high temperatures in the teens, but that's probably a midnight high. And then Tuesday, very cold. Highs in the single digits and teens. Wednesday, cold. Highs in the low teens. Thursday, highs in the mid-teens. Friday, we scratch our way to 20 degrees or so and stay there on Saturday. And I still believe that February 24th, next Monday, is when we first get our widespread above freezing kind of day, signifying the Arctic air is used up, probably the last blast of it. Now we go to the 26th, 27th, last day of February, and what does that show you? A pattern change possibly evolving, and I've looked at other things big, and yes. So basically I will be plowing tonight, Saturday night, and Sunday night. When will we not have to plow, LO? I don't know if you'll be plowing tonight. It depends on where you're at. If you're in the north, again, this is not a big snow until if it verifies in the southeast on Sunday. Tom Ramsey, doctor's appointment Monday afternoon in Grand Rapids. How's it looking? It's looking windy and cold and blowing and drifting snow. It's looking pretty not great, very Arctic-y for early next week. All right, so we'll get through it. Remember, we have to remember if you've got bad spring fever, we have to remember one thing that is always true in meteorology. Always. If it's not, we got bigger problems. And that is snow always melts. And it will. Be careful. Travel today, fine. Tomorrow, not terrible, especially south half. Sunday, it could change a lot. But of course, I will keep you updated. And these are safety posts. So on MLive, we mark those as free, not behind the paywall, as they call them. And I'll keep you updated through the weekend. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a great weekend and about one more week, and then you're going to start to see the hints of a break in winter. Take care.